We now have two tropical systems that we are watching in the Atlantic. One that is important and one that's not important. Let me quickly touch on the one that isn't important. The one that isn't important is Invest 92L. Right now, Invest 92L is just east of Puerto Rico, and the National Hurricane Center only gives it about a 40% chance to develop within the next 5 days. But if you look at the satellite imagery, you could clearly tell that Invest 92L has a circulation. You could see those clouds spinning in a certain spot. But in that certain spot, all the convection is east of it. So once convection starts happening around the center, you should expect it to become a tropical storm. But if it becomes a tropical storm, it's not going to affect land. The jet stream is just going to pick it up and take it fast eastward. And now that brings me to Ophelia. Ophelia is now a major hurricane. So it actually strengthened since the last video. Ophelia right now is just southeast of the Azores Islands. Ophelia is a 115 mile per hour category 3 major hurricane. And yes, Ophelia is going to affect land. Ophelia right now is traveling around 25 miles per hour. In case you didn't know, that's very fast for a hurricane. And I mean very fast. That's because the jet stream has already picked up Ophelia, and when jet streams pick up storms, they start racing eastward. And that's just what Ophelia is doing. Before I talk more about Ophelia, in Europe they call extratropical hurricanes X-hurricanes. So from now on, when I'm talking about Ophelia, I'm gonna call it X-hurricane, not extratropical hurricane. Just had to make that statement. This is gonna be the second to last video about Ophelia before Ophelia makes the possible landfall in Ireland. If you take a look at the European model, the Euro has Ophelia just missing Ireland. The difference of whether it makes a landfall and it doesn't isn't really noticeable. If you take a look at the European ensembles, 95% of them don't have Ophelia making landfall. But that still doesn't change anything. Whether or not Ophelia makes landfall, it doesn't truly matter. Ophelia isn't a major strengthening hurricane all the way up to landfall. Ophelia is a very rare case. Ophelia is so rare, there's never been a major hurricane in the Atlantic Basin that far eastward ever. There has never been a major hurricane that far east. And guess what? Ophelia is a major hurricane, so it's a complete outlier if you look at all the other major hurricane tracks. Ophelia is really far eastward. Ophelia is just a crazy rare storm. And Ophelia is actually going to affect a European country. And it's actually going to affect it in a major way. The whole country of Ireland should expect strong tropical storm winds, sustained, and low-end hurricane gusts. That's still enough wind to knock down trees and knock out power. And also for the coastal cities in Ireland, they're gonna have to deal with some storm surge because Ophelia is still gonna be a hurricane. And I mean a hurricane because it's gonna be an X-hurricane. It's gonna be an X-hurricane because the water surrounding Ireland cannot support a real hurricane. That's because when Ophelia is approaching a landfall in Ireland, Ophelia is gonna have a cold core. That means it lost all of its tropical characteristics, but it's still gonna bring some impactful wind and rain. By the way, for the people in Ireland and the northern UK, Ophelia is just going to bring some heavy rain and wind to you for about 6 to 12 hours. And that's going to be a time period from Monday to Tuesday, somewhere around then. But Ophelia is coming. But we got one more video to talk about it. Subscribe right here to stay informed, and I'll see you in the next one.